Hi and welcome here to my channel. In today's tutorial I'm going to be making this top here. It's a summer top that I decided to make because it's really fast. And this is the back of it. It's a really nice back as well. So this top that I made worked on the knitting machine. I made the panels, this part here, on my Sentro 48, and then I made these little sleeves here with crochet after, and I'm gonna be guiding you throughout the pattern. Now for this pattern I'm going to be leaving the link down in the description below for other sizes if you want. This is a medium size. I always make my size because when you make a medium it's easier to go to a large and go to a small other than calculate all the way from the small to the large, so I prefer that, and I also can wear my own designs as well. For this pattern here I'm going to be using this yarn that I just found out it works really nice on the knitting machines. It's a blend of cotton and acrylic, and it's actually made for amigurumi, so it's made to make toys, but I have this other top that I made. This pattern is on Etsy if you guys want to have a look on my Etsy shops down in the description below. And this is a tank top that's really, I wear it all the time because it's a little bit oversized and I like it. And this yarn is the same yarn of this one. It has, seriously, I think it has like 50 colors on this yarn, so you can choose your own color, your favorite color, and the colors are really pretty. I think I really like this this denim blue as well, and it's so comfortable to wear for summer. It's beautiful. Like all these tops I've been making, I make in only one afternoon, so it's quite fast to make, and it's like for this one I used only 2 balls of this yarn, which is I think $4.50 each, so for around $9-10 you can have your own customized top that I think is really cool because nobody will have the same. So guys, you need a Sentro 48 or an Addi 46 to make this pattern, and then you need only a hook. I used a 4mm hook and a few markers. That's all you need, and around 2 to 3 hours to make it. It's quite fast, okay? So let's get started. So to start making this top, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 panels, and I'm going to use the maximum amount of stitches that this machine has, which is 45. It has 48, but I need 3 just to turn on the panel mode here, so I need 3 empty needles here. And then I'm going to leave calculated down in the description below in my blog article all the other sizes, how you should go about it, okay? But it's basically reduce in 4 stitches to each size going down, okay? So I'm going to cast on my stitches just normal way. I always do, weaving the yarn in and out. I'm using my Sentro 48, as I said. You could probably make a medium using the Addi 46 as well. It wouldn't be a problem because this yarn kind of stretches a little, so you could probably make on an Addi 46 as well. So finishing this, I'm just gonna put the yarn through the thread. I'm going to use my fingers to make the tension on the beginning and at the end, and that's why I like to use my hand, so I can tension the yarn on the beginning and at the end of each row. As you can see here, I'm pulling. So I'm making 3 rows now with this yarn. You could make 4 as well, it's okay. And then remove the yarn from here. And because I want it to be a little longer for me, I'm going to leave a little tail here to start with, and so I can mattress stitch after in the middle. Make sure that stitch, that first stitch right down on the bottom of the first needle, because it tends to go up sometimes, and then start making your rows. Getting here, same thing. For the edges, guys, some people complain that they have a lot of clogging here on the edges. And this is because this stitch, you have to pay attention like every single row you make on the edge stitches. They always need to be right on the bottom of the needles, okay? And then this yarn has to go under here. And your finger has to pull on the beginning to create a little bit of tension so your edges are not too loose at the end. Just grab any top you have at home. I have this one. Just measure from the underarm to here. If it's inches, you're gonna make this number by 4. And if it's centimeters, you're gonna make this number by 2, okay? It's around 35, 36 centimeters. That's why I made 76 rows for me, because I wanted a little longer than this one. So I'll keep making my rows and then I'll come back with you. This is a very fast pattern, just to show you how to cast off the stitches and how to put it all together after. Now that I finished all my rows, I'm going to remove the yarn from the yarn guide, place the ball inside, and then I'm going to make a full row without the yarn. And then with a tapestry needle, I'm going to pick up the stitches one by one. You can always cover the next stitch so it doesn't drop from the needle. This is our panel. Just make another one of these, and this is the length it has. Around 38. But it's gonna stretch sideways, so it's gonna be less than that. And that's what I actually wanted. I'm gonna measure for you to see how much it stretches as well. Stretches all the way to around 42, okay? So you can see, you can just measure your own top and see if that's gonna fit you, if you, just in case you're making a medium large or a large. And if that fits you, you can probably make with one panel only. That's what I'm saying, okay? And then now the first thing we're going to do is with the tapestry needle, we are going to seam both sides with the mattress stitch here and here. That's why I left this long tail on the beginning. And so the tail is there. It's on this side here. We're going to grab that first stitch on the other side here. Now I always like to grab the very first one, which means this loop here. So when you finish both sides, they're not they're aligned with each other. And here I like to choose this second stitch here, not the very first one, because it can be hard to see sometimes. And then if you don't pull too much, you can always see where you put the last stitch and go into the next one easier. And then you can pull every now and then just to close it off, and that's how this is going to look like. So I'm going to repeat this on this side and also on this side to close it off as a tube. And then I'll come back with you just to bind off the bottom and bind off the top and finish with that beautiful crochet. I finished seaming the sides and that's what they look like. One tip that I have for you guys is before you make the last knot and hide the tail on the back, make sure you stretch this a bit so just to make sure that the stitch, the mattress stitch, will stretch the same amount as the rest of the fabric. And then what I did next, and I'm gonna show you here, I went in front of a mirror and I just placed markers for the position of this part here that I'm going to make now in crochet, okay? On the back I'm making this, I'm closing the back. What I did was I placed the markers in front of the mirror and then I rearranged them to have the same amount of stitches in all sizes, okay? So I have 12 stitches going this way, counting with these two middle ones that I'm going to actually hide on the back later. I'm gonna show you how in a second. And now here, what I'm going to do is just bind off the bottom just to get rid of all this waste yarn so it's not on the way. And to do that, I'm going to grab my hook. I'm using a 4mm hook for this work. And I always like to start binding off just before the mattress stitch because I'm gonna show you in a second what I'm doing there. So just make a knot with a yarn tail. We're gonna hide this after. From here, you just pull the yarn like this and then go into the second stitch just like this way you're not gonna twist the stitch. And when you bind off, make sure you make a little wider loops on the first loop so it's not tied on you when you wear it later. And then here in the middle, and that's why I wanted to start just before the mattress stitch here. Here's the mattress stitch. What I want you to do is grab these two stitches together because as you can see, this last stitch here is curled in with the mattress stitch. So we don't really want this stitch to show on the finished work, so we're going to just bind them all together. And the same with this stitch, try to find it. It's always on the back, hidden there. What I want you to do is put the first stitch in the front and then the back stitch on the back of it. Just grab the second stitch after. And then also make the two together. And then this way the second one's it's not gonna even show, it's gonna be on the back there. And then you can keep making your stitches. That's just gonna give a better finish to your work. And I'm going to repeat this bind off all around it. So repeat around and I'll come back with you to finish the top part of it. And then here just remove the waste yarn. And then after removing all the waste yarn, that's what we have. I'm going to finish this first row here. Put the hook through the last stitch and make the last stitch. And then through the first one just to finish this row. Slip stitch. And then I'm going to chain one to go up and make another row with only half double crochets. I found that half double crochets, they are really good for finishing rows, so just half double crochet all around it. Again, make sure your stitches are not tied, otherwise the rest of the top's gonna be much bigger than this part here. So I'm gonna just go around, finish this, and then I'll come back with you just to make the top part of it. And if this content's helpful to you, make sure you leave me your like, guys, and subscribe to my channel. I also really like when you leave your comments, and I like to reply to everyone. So if you feel like you have any other question about it, just let me know and I'll try to help you as much as I can. And then, as you can see, this completely stopped the curling on the bottom. I didn't make an edge, but you could. And then here, as you can see, I didn't remove the yarn tail when I finished with the machine on the machine, so it's still attached. Same thing I did on the other side. Just so that stitch is behind the work, not in front of it. And then I'm just gonna go around repeating the same work that I did before, okay? Just slip stitches for this first row here, all around it. And then I'll come back with you just to make the back work first. And then this first row, I'll finish right here in that first stitch, making a slip stitch. And just I'll have to cut the yarn because I want to start working from the markers that I left. So just hide the tail behind after. I just wanted to let you know that I finally released my book. It's on Amazon and it has 16 modern designs that you can make all on your circular knitting machines. It has 8 types of sweaters and cardigans with all different types of cuts for the neck, okay? It's all explained in the book. Each pattern has its own video as well, so you can look in the pattern and you can also follow a tutorial on the video as well. There's a first pattern, which is this one that's for very beginners, so all the stitching as well is explained in the book with a lot of images of how to work on the panel mode if you are a beginner and you don't know yet and you want to make your own garments at home, because it's so nice to be able to make your own clothes. That's why I wanted to share everything in this book. So make sure you go to Amazon, the link is down in the description below, and check my book out. It's really nice. And now what I'm going to do is, in one of the sides, I'm going to start working the back part. I'm going to make a little square like this. Just make a slip knot on the back, pull it through, and make 1, 2, 3, 4 chains. After chain 4, you're gonna skip the next one, and then you're gonna go into the next one. Skip the next one and into the other one. And then just repeat this work until you reach the next marker. Okay, so this is what we are going to have right in the middle of the back. And then I'm going to keep going up. Just make the same amount of chains that we did on the other side. So 4, 2, 3, 4 before you turn the work. And then just work right on top of each double crochet you had before. It's very easy stitch. Chain 1, double crochet in the same double crochet. So this work you are going to do until you reach the bottom of your neck, okay? So when you reach the bottom of your neck, you're gonna stop this, and then we are going to start the sleeves. It's gonna be around here, so I'm guessing around 7 rows going up. So here I ended up making a few extra rows just to get to the length that I needed to reach all the way to almost the beginning of my neck on the back. And I made 11 rows here. So from now, because I already calculated and tried on me, I'm going to be making from here all the way to the other side to start working this first sleeve on this side. I'm making 26 chains from here, and then I'm going to join on the other side. Like what I suggest for you if you're making your top for the first time as well, make these chains here and then join here on this other side, and then try it on to see if you have enough for it to go around your arm and not be too tight or too loose, okay? And then once you've finished, just turn the work, and because we're going to work going this way outside, I'm going to be making my first stitch here. So I slip stitch through here, and then slip stitch or single crochet into the next stitch, and then turn to start working this first sleeve. Now it's very important that you try if this is good enough for you now. And then from here what I'm going to do is going to single crochet again, and then because we want that opening to the top, I'm going to work a half double crochet, and then one more half double crochet, and then one double crochet, and then I'm going to repeat this work here. So I'm going to chain one, skip one, and then double crochet. Chain one, skip one, and double crochet. And then just repeat this along all the way to the other side. And then here skip one and into the next one. Always working in between the rows, just so it looks like you were just making the same work here. And again, and then getting to the bottom here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain one there, and then skip one here, and then I'm going to slip stitch one, slip stitch two, and then one more. Okay. And then just to make the same length, the same size, the same length of this stitch here, right here, so I can start the next row. Chain one and then turn your work around and then repeat the same work again. So I'm going to repeat this all around here. And then when I get to this part of the sleeve, I'm going to show you, but I'm really just going to repeat where I have the double crochet, I'm making a double, where I have the half double, I'm making a half double, and where I have two single crochets here, I'm making two single crochets, okay? I already made one double crochet. Now, half double, half double, single, and single, and then into this very next stitch here, slip stitch, and then again slip stitch to the next, just to start that next row, and then turn the work and repeat the same thing. After this I'm going to, and that's how it's looking like now, I'm going to be repeating one or two more times, and then I'm going to try it on again just to see how it's like. When making this kind of clothing, guys, you have to try it on all the time when it's your first time making, just to make sure the fitting is gonna be right, okay? So I will come back with you just to show you how I finish this side here, and then I'm going to be making this side after. And this is our top for today. Just let me show you from close how it looks like, so you know. I made an extra row here just because I thought I needed to. And then I'm going to try it on now, just so you guys can see the length and everything and how it fits. If you like this tutorial, again, leave me your like and subscribe to my channel. That's very important to me, and to allow me to make more content for you just like this. Thank you again for watching, and I see you on the very next tutorial. Bye!